Hey Rob, isn't that hound's tongue?
This is hound's tongue, and it's called hound's tongue because in the fall, the first year plant, this is actually a second year because it's a biennial. First year it comes up. Oh, this is a first year plant here. These long narrow leaves will turn bright red, and so it will look like a dog's tongue. And in Spanish they call it lengua de vaca, which means cow's tongue, for the same reason. But this is a very close relative of comfrey, and like comfrey, it has a large amount of allantoin. And allantoin is a cell metabolite that actually accelerates the division rate of cells. So this has a long history of use in healing wounds. Back in around the turn of the century, you could find salves all the time with allantoin in them for healing wounds. And you find huge amounts of allantoin in the umbilical cord and in the placenta. And anytime you see a new unfurling leaf on a plant, there's large amounts of allantoin there because it's necessary to accelerate that cell division and growth. Hound's tongue is also useful because it's what we call a demulcent. It has slippery, snotty proteins in it that soothe sore throats and irritated gut. You can use it any place that you need a smooth, slippery tea to soothe irritated skin on the inside or the outside of the body. The one concern with this plant is that it contains what are called pyrrolizidine alkaloids. Pyrrolizidine alkaloids are a really large group of chemical compounds. Some of them are extremely toxic, and they can become cascadingly toxic. When the body tries to detoxify them, they become more toxic, and they can end up destroying the liver if you consume enough of it. But not all pyrrolizidine alkaloids are toxic, and the ones in comfrey and the ones in hound's tongue are not toxic. But because they're in there, the FDA is always in an uproar about this not being used internally because of that idea with the pyrrolizidine alkaloids, even though these ones are not toxic. The root is the most important part of the plant, most concentrated with allantoin, and you want to harvest spring of the second year plant here. So this right now is ready for harvesting, or fall of the first year plant. Hound's tongue is not a native plant. In fact, it's considered a weed. Hound's tongue came here in the churro sheep from Spain, and it dropped out of the sheep's wool, and it has spread itself from Alaska down to the tip of South America since the time that it was brought here 400 years ago.